A lot of you are familiar with that rule of three or the threefold law. Now, I do not participate in this belief, and I'll kind of get into that later on in the presentation here, but a lot of you do. It's a very prominent Wiccan belief that any energy, positive or negative, sent out is going to return to the sender three times. So there are a lot of practitioners that view this as a metaphorical reminder of accountability for their actions. And that's what I really believe this is. Do I believe that it comes back three times? No, I don't believe in the threefold law. I do not attest to that in my practice. There are karmic workarounds. However, I do believe it exists to make sure that we are acting ethically, responsibly, and that we are accountable for the work that we are doing. The Three of Cups, this is very celebratory. This is about friendships, collaborating. It's about community, coming together for a goal that we're all trying to accomplish, like here in Minneapolis, there's a lot of Three of Cups going on. There's been a lot of Three of Cups, for months now, people coming together for a common good, for a common goal. And so I love that with the Three of Cups. On its bad day, it could be overindulgence, right? Too much partying, too much, fanfare. So you got to keep it balanced. Three is about balance, harmonization. Three of Swords. The swords are a son of a bitch in the tarot. But the Three of Swords, it is about heartbreak. It is about feeling sorrow. It's about difficult truths that we have to accept. And it's also about emotional release. So as shitty as the Three of Swords is, and as much as people hate seeing it, that card, the first thing I always think of is there anything that's self-sabotage going on? Because life path threes, numerological threes, astrological chart threes, they love to self-sabotage. And so it could be a little bit of that. The other thing is too, that sometimes a Three of Swords is necessary to grow. It's necessary to break patterns, to break molds, to shift energy. It's a necessary evil, and that is life, right? It's not always puppies and corn dogs, you guys. So let's look at signs and synchronicities, right? I'm always talking about that, especially if I've manipulated energy for you. One of the follow-ups always is pay attention to the signs and synchronicities, because once we release this energy, the universe is going to want to talk to you. It's going to want to, give you some information, some downloads. So seeing the number three, numbers are one of the easiest ways that the universe can communicate with us. Especially if we're looking at sequences like 333, 3333. This is frequently interpreted as a sign of alignment, creativity, and spiritual support. So it's usually a very good thing to see these threes after a casting. It does indicate karmic support for the work and for the manifest process. So in the context of synchronicity, three acts as a message from the universe or your personal spiritual guides that you are on the right path, and that your thoughts are manifesting into reality. So oftentimes after spell casting, if somebody's telling me they're seeing or experiencing a lot of threes, I will tell them, well, the universe supports the work, and things are structuring in terms of manifest presentation. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Here it comes. That often signifies that you are being surrounded and guided by ascended masters. And depending on your belief system, that can vary greatly. But, like in Christian pantheons, it's usually like Jesus, Moses, other spiritual teachers. And that is really an indication that you're safe and supported with whatever is going on. When we're looking at alignment, especially mind, body, and spirit, let's go a more yogini path here, tantric path here. That number three represents the Trinity, right? Reminding you to bring like your mental, physical, and spiritual self into harmony. So sometimes there's a lot of support. There's karmic support, there's deital support, there's energetic support, but you might be the holdup, right? So it might be that you need to get your mind, your body, and your spirit on the same operating page, so it's not creating blockage to whatever it is you're trying to manifest. You need that harmonization. So we're talking about creativity and self-expression, usually threes, when you're experiencing a lot of them, it's kind of a call to unleash your creativity, share your ideas, bring more joy and optimism into your daily life, right? It's saying, hey, come on, lighten up, let's have some fun. Manifestation and growth. You know, three acts as a portal for growth. It really does, suggesting that your ideas are ready to grow and flourish. You just need to give it that follow through, that little bit of energetic push, right? The positive flow, the positive influx.